The cries from the tunnel, the wind howled over the broken towers of the old mining colony. Snow covered everything. Metal beams stuck out of the ground like the bones of a dead giant. Nobody lived here anymore. No one wanted to. Oh, but Logan did. Not come here to live. He came to survive. He moved carefully through the ruins, his boots crunching against ice and gravel. A thick scarf covered most of his face, and a scanner blinked quietly on his wrist. He was searching for anything useful: metal, wires, old tech, anything he could trade for food or power cells. His flashlight beams swept across a half-buried tunnel entrance. The metal door was bent and blackened from an old explosion. As he stepped closer, something stopped him. A sound very soft, like a whimper, a whisper, a cry. Logan froze. He turned off his scanner and listened. Nothing, just the wind. Then he heard it again, a weak cry. Faint, but definitely real. Logan dropped to one knee and brushed snow from the ground. He moved closer to the broken tunnel door. His hand touched. The edge, it was cold, sharp, but loose enough to push open. "Hello," he called out, voice low. "Is someone in there?" No answer. He pulled his flashlight back out and pushed through the narrow opening. The tunnel was dark and smelled like rust and old air. Pipes ran along the ceiling, dripping with moisture. The further he went, the more the air grew heavy. Then, another sound, a soft moan. He turned quickly. Light sweeping over the walls. Then it landed on something. A large, dead creature lay near the wall. Its body was covered in thick, armor-like skin. It had long claws, sharp teeth, and strange black veins all over. Its chest had been torn open. Blood dark purple was still wet on the floor, and beside it. Logan gasped. There was a girl, alien, thin, pale silver skin, long white hair. Curled into herself, shivering. Her arms held her belly, swollen and sleaze. And round dot, she looked up weakly, her lips cracked and eyes glowing faint blue. "Human," she whispered, "please." Logan stepped back, unsure if this was a trap, but her voice was too soft, too broken. "Are you hurt?" he asked, scanning her quickly. Her body showed bruises and marks, some fresh, some old. "Don't leave me here," she breathed. I can't." Logan swallowed hard. "What's your name?" She tried to speak, but only coughed. Logan quickly dropped his backpack and pulled out a small heater pad. He activated it and placed it close to her. The warmth made her flinch. But then she relaxed slightly. "My name is Logan," he said gently. "I won't hurt you, but you have to tell me, who are you?" "What happened, Jira?" She whispered. "They left me here." "Who did?" She looked at the dead beast, him and the ones who made him. Logan's eyes narrowed. He glanced at the creature again. It wasn't just any wild animal. This thing looked engineered. "What's inside you, Jira?" She didn't answer. Her hand gripped her belly tightly. Her eyes filled with tears. "Please," she said. "If you leave me, I will die. My baby too." That word hit him hard. Baby, this girl, this alien, was pregnant. Logan had heard of strange things happening in off-world labs. Experiments, crossbreeds, secret programs. But never had he seen one like this. He stared at her for a long time. Then he made his choice. Without another word, he lifted her gently into his arms. She was light as air, skin cold as ice. She cried out softly, but held onto his jacket. Logan moved quickly through the tunnel, pushing open the entrance again. The cold wind struck hard, but he wrapped her in his coat and began walking toward his hidden shelter. Whatever this was, it was too late to walk away now. Who is she? Why is she hiding? The old bunker door slid shut behind Logan with a rusty screech. Inside, the shelter was warm and dim, lit by soft yellow lamps. The walls were made of thick steel, covered in old posters and hanging tools. It wasn't much, but it was safe. Jera lay on a small cot, wrapped in heated blankets. Her silver skin had lost its chill, but her body still shook from weakness and fear. Logan sat beside her, holding a cup of warm, nutrient soup. "Drink," he said gently. Jera looked at the cup, then at Logan. Slowly, with trembling hands, she sipped. The warm liquid made her eyes water again. "Thank you," she whispered. Logan nodded. "You're lucky I found you. But now you need to tell me what's going on. You said you were taken. That creature in the tunnel, what was it?" Jera's eyes drifted to the shadows above. She looked afraid, not just of what she had signed, but of what she remembered. "It wasn't supposed to happen," she said quietly. "I was part of a transport team. We were delivering supplies. Pirates hit us. We were sold. To a lab." Logan's heart sank. "A lab? On this planet?" Jera nodded slowly. "Underground, hidden, far from the colonies. They tested on different species, splicing DNA, making things." Her voice trembled. "They said they wanted a weapon. One that could think, hunt, reproduce." Logan leaned forward, his voice firm. "And the creature. It was one of their creations," she whispered. "A beast mixed with old blood-ancient blood. Something from before the war. It wasn't just smart. It chose me." Logan stared at her. "You mean it bred with you?" She nodded, a tear rolling down her cheek. "I didn't have a choice." A long silence fell between them. Logan stood and ran a hand through his hair. He wasn't a soldier anymore, not since the Human War Syndicate fell apart. He came here to escape all that, but now it felt like the war had followed him. "Underground, I don't know what they put inside." "Me," Jera said, her voice small. "But the others, they were scared of it. When the beast died, the scientists tried to take me. I escaped during the explosion. And the baby?" Jera placed a hand on her swollen belly. "It's growing fast. Too fast. I feel it changing." Logan looked away. He wasn't a doctor. He wasn't ready for this, but something about her voice, her strength despite everything, held him in place. "You don't have to stay," she said suddenly. "If I'm a threat, the baby is, you can leave. I'll understand." But Logan didn't move. He looked at her again, really. She was young. Maybe 19 or 20 in human years. Her eyes were tired, but still glowing with life. And despite all she had suffered, she had never stopped fighting. "No," he said finally. "You're not alone anymore." Jera blinked, unsure whether to believe him. Logan walked to a cabinet and pulled out an old med scanner. "This thing barely works, but it's better than nothing. I'm going to scan the child." Jera nodded and laid back carefully. The scanner hummed and flashed. Lines of data appeared, flickering with warnings. The baby's heart was strong, too strong. Muscles developing fast. Brain activity high. Strange energy signatures. Logan frowned. "It's not human, not fully. But it's not a monster either. It's alive, it's intelligent." Jera looked terrified. "What if it hurts someone?" Logan closed the scanner. "Then we'll teach it not to." Suddenly, a red light blinked on the wall in alert. Motion sensors. Logan moved fast, pulling a small monitor onto the table. A drone was hovering outside the ruins military class. "Human tech. They're searching," Logan muttered. "They must have tracked the energy from the tunnel." Jera sat up quickly, panic in her eyes. "They'll take me. Kill the child. They did it before. I saw them burn others." Logan's hand rested on her shoulder. "I won't let that happen." "But you don't even know me," she cried. "You didn't choose this," he said firmly. But you survived it. That's enough. Jira looked at him, her voice breaking. Why would a human help me, when even my own kind left me behind? Logan didn't answer. He didn't have the words, but deep down, he knew the truth. She reminded him of someone he couldn't save during the war. A girl with the same lost eyes. A girl who died alone while soldiers just watched. Not this time. Logan turned off the monitor and pulled out a cloaking tarp. We're going deeper underground. I know a place. No signals, no scans. You'll be safe there until we figure this out. Jira held his gaze. You're not like other humans. Logan gave a small, tired smile. Neither are you. And with that, they prepared to disappear together. The beast's legacy, the deeper tunnels, were cold and forgotten. Logan's boots echoed as he guided. Jera carefully through the tight passages. Rusted pipes dripped quietly. The air was dry and smelled of old chemicals. Few knew about this level. Beneath the ruins, it was part of an abandoned transport system, sealed after the last quake. Logan had lived down here once, hiding from the war. Now he was hiding someone else. Jira clung to his arm. Her body was weak, but her eyes moved constantly, scanning the shadows. She breathed hard, holding her large belly, which looked more swollen than before. Are we close? She whispered. Almost, Logan said, unlocking a thick hatch door ahead. This part used to be a worker shelter. Sealed, reinforced, and off-grid. They stepped into a room lit by backup lights. It had a bed, a battery generator, old supplies, and heavy walls. Logan helped Jera sit on the cot and check the med scanner again. The results made him pause. The baby had grown again in just a few hours. It wasn't normal. Jera noticed the change in Logan's face. It's getting faster, isn't it? He nodded slowly. The development rate is unreal. This thing inside you. It's growing like a military-grade hybrid. Strong bones, organ fusion, brain spikes. I feel it too, she said quietly. It kicks harder. My body can barely handle it. Logan looked at her carefully. Can you tell me more about the beast? What kind of DNA it had? Eyes darkened. They called it Project Hound 13. It was built from ancient DNA they dug up on a dark planet. Some said it came from before recorded galactic time before. Even the first wars. Ancient? Logan frowned. As in, primal. Nodded. It wasn't just a beast. It understood. It watched people. It remembered who harmed it. What happened to it? It grew too smart. It killed its handlers. But it didn't kill me. They said it imprinted on me, like I was chosen. Logan's heart beat faster. That means your child could be even more intelligent than the original. Jera looked down at her belly. Or more dangerous. For a long moment, silence filled the room. Then a sharp cry cut through it. Jera gasped, clutching her stomach. Her body twisted, and she cried out again. Hey! Easy, breathe, Logan said, grabbing a scanner and kneeling beside her. It's too early, she said through her teeth. It's not time yet, but Logan's scanner disagreed. The signs were clear. Contractions, rapid development. The child wasn't waiting. It's coming, Logan said. We don't have much time. Jira was sweating now. No, if it comes now, might not survive it. We'll make it through, Logan said firmly. Together, but deep inside, fear gripped him. He wasn't trained for this. It's not for alien births, not for ancient hybrid children. If this went wrong, Jera could die, and if the baby came out violent, he might have to fight it. Suddenly, the power flickered. Great, Logan muttered. The backup cell was draining faster than expected. Then another sharp cry from Jira. This time, something inside her belly pushed against her skin so hard that Logan saw the outline of a small clawed hand. His breath caught. The child wasn't. Just growing fast. It was trying to get out, Jira, he said quickly. I have a sedative. I can slow your pain, maybe buy us time. But she shook her head. No, let it come. I feel it. It's afraid. Logan blinked. Afraid. She looked at him, tears in her eyes. It doesn't want to hurt me. I can feel its emotions. It's scared, like me. Logan stared at her, this young. Broken girl who was still strong enough to feel love for something the world would call a monster. He handed her a cloth and held her hand. Then we'll face it together. Whatever it is, it's yours, and you're not alone anymore. Suddenly, they both turned at the sound of movements, a faint beep. Logan looked at the scanner. A proximity alert. Someone's here, he said. Voice tight, above us. Jira's breath hitched. They found us. Logan grabbed his weapon and switched the monitor. A human drone hovered above the ruins, against signal stronger. Then came the second signal. A ground team. 6 soldiers, armed. Closing in, Logan looked at Jira. We don't have time to run. We defend here. Jira winced through pain. You'll die. Not before I make sure they don't take you, Logan said, locking the door as the lights flickered again and Jira screamed in pain. Logan stood beside her, weapon in hand. Eyes fixed on the hatch. Whatever was coming, whether soldier or child, he was ready. Asterisk. Soldiers on the surface. Snow swirled above the ruins as heavy boots landed on the cracked ground. 6 armored soldiers moved silently through the dead colony. Their helmets glowed with red visors, scanning for heat and sound. Behind them, a scout drone hovered, sending signals to a command ship in orbit. The squad leader raised his fist. Target is close. Signal came from below. Set scanners to tunnel depth. Far beneath their boots, in a sealed shelter, Logan watched. The monitor with tight lips. They're right above us, he said. Jira lay on the cot, her skin pale, drenched in sweat. She had stopped screaming, but her eyes were wide with fear. They found me. Logan knelt beside her. Listen to me. This bunker is shielded. They can't scan inside, only guess. We still have time. Jira clutched his hand. They won't let the child live. You know that? Logan nodded. I've seen it before. Anything different, anything they can't control, they destroy it. The scanner beeped again. Logan switched to a thermal view. The soldiers had split into 2 groups. 3 were setting up charges around a sealed tunnel entrance. The other 3 were guarding the area. They're not trying to capture you, Logan whispered. They're going to collapse the tunnels. Bury you alive. Jira's eyes filled with tears. They want to erase everything. Me, the child, like we never existed. Logan stood and grabbed his gear, his sidearm, a flashblade, and 2 EMP charges. You're not dying today, but you can't fight them, she whispered. You're alone. He looked back at her, calm but firm. So are they. Jira blinked in confusion. What? They don't know what's really down here. They think it's just a weak girl and an old soldier. But if they push too hard, he glanced at her stomach. They might wake something they can't. Stop. He walked to the back wall and pressed a hidden panel. A narrow tunnel opened a crawl space barely large enough to fit 1 person. Go, Logan said. It leads to the old power chamber. Stay low, stay quiet. If I don't return in an hour, keep moving. There's a ladder up to the eastern ridge. Take it. Jira hesitated. I'm not leaving you. Logan gave a small smile. Then fight to stay alive, for both of you. Jira stared at him, then nodded. She gripped the edge of the crawl space and slid in, her swollen belly making it hard. Logan helped her through, then sealed the panel behind her, above the first. Explosions shook the ground, dust rained from the ceiling. The soldiers had broken through. Logan placed an EMP charge near the entrance and took cover. He waited. The door burst open. A flash of light. Metal footsteps, then dash, click. The EMP detonated. A bright burst of static light knocked two soldiers off their feet. Their visors blinked out. One screamed as sparks flew from his weapon. Logan didn't. Wait. He rushed forward, hitting the third soldier with a shock baton, dropping him instantly. But the others were fast. Shots rang out. One grazed Logan's shoulder. He dove behind a crate, blood dripping from his arm. Target is armed. One. Soldier shouted, "We have a hostile." Logan gritted his teeth and rolled out, firing twice. One shot hit a leg joint. The other struck a chest plate. Enough to slow them, but not stop them. He fell back toward the sealed panel. Then a roar. Not human. Not machine. It came from the tunnel. Everyone froze. Another roar. Echoed deep, angry, and shaking the walls. One soldier stepped back. What the hell is that? The sealed wall exploded outward. Jera stood there. But it wasn't just her. Her eyes were glowing bright white. Her skin shimmered with energy. And wrapped around her, like a second skin, was a glowing or a vague child's energy. Her voice was quiet but firm. Leave. The soldiers hesitated. Then one raised his weapon. Targets unstable. Take her. Down. Before the shot could fire, the energy around Jera lashed out like a whip. It slammed the soldier against the wall with a crack. The others turned and ran. Ira collapsed to her knees, the energy fading, her body shaking. Logan rushed to her. "Jera, I didn't mean to," she whispered. "You protected yourself," Logan said, holding her close. "And the baby. You did what no one else could." He looked down at her belly. The child was still, but glowing softly, almost like it knew what had just happened. Outside, the soldiers fled into the snow, calling for evacuation. Their message was clear: do not engage. Unknown life form detected. Too dangerous. Retreat. Logan looked at the ruins. 4. Now they were safe. But something had changed. The child wasn't just alive, it was awake. The pain before the birth Sarah lay curled on the cot, her body trembling. Sweat soaked her silver skin. Her hands clutched her swollen belly, which now glowed with soft pulses of pale blue light. The baby inside was no longer quiet. It moved. Fast, kicked harder, and stretched her body to its limit. Logan sat beside her, pressing a cold cloth to her forehead. He had seen pain before on battlefields, in field hospitals, in refugee camps, but never like this. This pain came not from wounds, but from transformation. Something powerful was trying to enter the world. Then the one who carried it was breaking. "Breathe," he whispered, trying to keep his voice steady. Slow, in and out. Jera gasped, her back arching in pain. "It's tearing me apart." Logan reached for the scanner again. The readings were chaotic bone density spikes, neural pulses rising fast. The child was growing again, even now, inside her. "It's too big," Logan said, eyes wide. "You should have had weeks left, but the baby's pushing through. It's forcing the birth." Jera's eyes watered. "Then let it come, or I won't survive." Logan shook his head. "Not like this. If we don't help it, it might kill you both." Jera opened her mouth to speak, but another wave of agony crushed her words. She screamed, her voice echoing in the steel walls. Logan looked around. He needed help, real help. But there was no one left. No medbots, no healers, no midwives. Just him, just her, and a child not born of nature. "Listen to me," he said, placing his hands firmly on her shoulders. "You have to stay with me. You have to fight." "I'm trying," she whispered. but I feel it. It's not just growing. It's changing. Logan blinked. What do you mean? Her eyes met his. It's becoming something else. It's scared. It wants to protect me, but it doesn't know how. Logan stood up and opened a locked chest. Inside was something he had never touched since the war. A thin, glowing band of ancient Tekka psychic translator. He hesitated, then took it. I'm going to try to connect to it, he said. To the child. Maybe it'll understand me. Jira nodded weakly. Be careful. Logan placed the band on his temple and powered it on. The machine hummed and pulsed, then synced with Jira's body. A soft flash, then everything went quiet, and then a voice. Faint like wind through trees. Not words, emotions, fear, pain, hunger, confusion. Logan gasped. The child was awake. Not just moving, not just alive, but aware. He spoke in his mind. You're hurting her, he thought. The presence inside Jira paused, then sent something back. No. Protect. Warm. Afraid. Sorry, Logan steadied himself. She's dying. You're hurting her by rushing. Slow down. Let her breathe. More confusion. A flash of red. Fear of being taken. Of labs. Of metal hands and sharp tools. The child remembered things Jira's memories. The beasts. Logan reached deep into the connection. I am not your enemy. I saved your mother. Let me help you be born safely. The presence shivered. Then calmed. Zhara gasped. Her body suddenly relaxed. Her breathing slowed. The pulsing light from her belly faded just slightly. It listened, she whispered. What did you say? Logan removed the band slowly. That it doesn't have to be a weapon. That it can choose peace. Jara's eyes filled with tears. You talk to him, my son. Logan blinked. You know it's a boy. I feel it. I've always known. Logan nodded, touched her hand gently. Then we'll bring him into this world, together. Suddenly, the scanner beeped again. New alert, imminent delivery. Logan took a deep breath. It's time. He washed his hands, prepped warm towels, sterilized the tools he had, and knelt beside Jira. Stay with me, he whispered. Don't give up now. She nodded once, then screamed again. Hours passed. She pushed, cried, collapsed, and rose again. Logan never left her side, and finally a new sound. A soft, sharp cry, high-pitched, not like a human, like a beast, but something between. Logan lifted the child gently, wrapped him in a cloth, and placed him in Jara's arms. Her hands trembled as she held her son. He had small claws, soft silver skin, sharp glowing eyes like hers but deeper. He looked at her. She smiled through tears. Hello, my little light. The baby cooed softly. Logan stood back, his heart full of something he hadn't felt in years. Hope, but in the shadows of the room. The scanners were still blinking, the outside world hadn't stopped watching, and not everyone would welcome the child. Not yet, asterisk. The monster they expected, the child, slept quietly in Jara's arms, wrapped in a soft cloth. His chest rose and fell gently. His small claws twitched now and then, but he made no sound, no cry, no growl. Just peace. Logan sat across from them, his weapon on the table beside him, eyes watching the door. Neither of them spoke for a while. They just listened to the stillness, and to the miracle breathing between them. He's not a monster, Jira whispered, rocking him gently. They made him from something broken, but he was born whole. Logan nodded slowly. They'll never believe that. Jira looked up. Then we'll make them see. Suddenly, the alert light flashed red again. Logan grabbed the monitor. A new drone? No. 2. And with them, a ship was descending fast, sleek, military-grade, black with no markings. Jera's voice shook. They're coming back. This isn't like before, Logan muttered. That's not a patrol team. That's command-level response. He zoomed in. 6 soldiers in high-level X-armor stepped off the dropship, weapons drawn. At the center stood a tall figure in a long, dark coat. His face was hidden, but Logan recognized the badge on his chest. Biocontrol Authority. The people. Who built the beast? The people who thought Jera was nothing but a failed experiment. Logan's heart sank. They didn't come to negotiate, he said. They came to erase. Jera tightened her grip on the child. They'll take him, cut him open, turn him into a weapon like his father. Logan moved quickly. He placed a hand on her shoulder. Listen, no matter what happens, you do not give him to them. Promise me. Jera's voice was steel. I swear. A voice echoed through the shelter speaker deep, commanding tone. This is Commander Illick of the Biocontrol Authority. You are harboring unauthorized genetic material and a stolen life form. Open the door, surrender the subject, and you may live. Logan didn't reply. He grabbed his weapon and stared at the screen. They're giving us one chance. Jera stood slowly. Her legs were shaking, but she didn't fall. I want to show them who he is. Jera, Logan warned, but she looked at him with calm, glowing eyes. They think he's a monster. Let them see the truth. Outside, the soldiers began placing charges on the outer doors. Inside, Logan whispered, if they shoot on sight, I won't let them hurt you. Jera nodded and kissed her baby's forehead. Then we stand as one. The door shook as the charge's blue dot, smoke, filled the air. Red lights flashed. Soldiers stormed inside, weapons raised. Logan stepped in front of Jera, gun aimed at the commander. Back. Off. The commander didn't blink. You're outnumbered. Give us the hybrid and walk away. No, Logan said. CHERA stepped out from behind him, cradling the child in her arms. The soldiers froze. The baby looked up at the armored strangers. His small mouth opened and let out a sound like music. Soft, echoing, not quite human, but not terrifying either. The soldiers began to shake. One dropped his weapon. Another backed away slowly. The commander growled, Don't listen to it. It's using psionic influence. He's not attacking, Jera said. He's asking you to stop. It's a lab mistake. The commander shouted, A threat to the galaxy. Logan stepped forward. No, he's proof that something stronger than hate can survive. The commander raised his weapon. You think that child will bring peace? He'll bring extinction. Suddenly, the baby's glow grew brighter. Not angry, not violent, just bright. A wave of light spread from his tiny body, passing over every surface. The soldiers gasped, stepping back, shielding their eyes. Then the light faded, silence, one by one. The soldiers lowered their weapons. The commander, shaking with rage, pointed at Logan. You've just started a war. Logan pointed back. Then you'll be remembered as the man who tried to kill peace. The commander opened his mouth to speak, then stopped. He looked at the baby again. For the first time, he hesitated. Then he gave the signal. Fall back. The soldiers looked at each other, confused. Commander. One asked. I said. Fall back, he shouted. The team moved out. The dropship roared to life, rising into the sky. And just like that, they were alone again. Jera collapsed to her knees, crying silently. Logan knelt beside her, eyes wide. You changed there. Minds? No, Jera said, holding her son tight. He did. The human who chose to stay weeks past. The snowstorm over the dead colony had long faded, and silence had returned to the ruins. But deep underground, life stirred where only cold had remained before. Logan sat on a worn chair, gently fixing a broken drone, while Jera sang quietly in the corner. Her voice was soft, almost like wind through the tunnels. In her arms, the child, now growing faster than any human baby, looked up at her with curious silver-blue eyes. He was strong, healthy, and different. His name was Kairoa, named Jera. Chose, meaning born from broken light in her ancient tongue. Logan looked at them and smiled. Without speaking, this wasn't the life he imagined when he came to this abandoned world. He came here to be forgotten. But now, he had something worth remembering. Jera looked up. "He learns so fast," she said, smiling. "He listens, even when I don't speak." Logan nodded. That light he released. It didn't come from power. It came from understanding. From his bond with you. "He's not a weapon," Jera said firmly. "Not what they wanted him to be." "No," Logan agreed. "He's something better." Suddenly, a soft beep came from the radar. Logan turned to check. A small civilian shuttle was approaching. It wasn't military. It wasn't from biocontrol. It was from the Sanctuary Network, a hidden alliance of human and alien outcasts. Logan had contacted them in secret after the soldiers left. "Just in case. They're here," he said. Jera stood, holding Cairo closer. "Will they help?" "They don't work for any government," Logan said. "They protect those who don't fit in. If anyone can give you a safe life, it's them." Jera looked down at her son, then at Logan. "Are you coming with us?" The question hit him like a blade to the chest. He hadn't thought about it because the truth scared him. He looked away. "You have a new beginning. You don't need me holding you back." Jera stepped forward. "You didn't just save me. Logan, you chose me. You stayed when everyone else ran. Cairo has your strength because you gave him a reason to be born." Logan didn't speak. His hand rested on the table, fingers trembling slightly. "I was no one," she continued. "Just a girl the world wanted to erase. But you saw something in me. You gave me hope." She held out her hand. Logan looked at her, at the baby's curious glowing eyes, and the warmth of their tiny shelter. "I don't deserve a family," he whispered. "You made one," Jera said. The shuttle landed quietly above the ridge. Two peaceful figures stepped out, an alien woman and a human man, both unarmed, dressed in dark robes with golden sashes. Jera looked back at Logan one last time. He took her hand. "I'll come." They gathered what little they had and stepped out of the bunker for the last time. The wind outside was soft now, no longer biting. The sky above was clear, with stars peeking through the clouds as they climbed to the surface. Cairo reached toward the sky with his tiny fingers, eyes glowing brighter as the stars came into view. "He knows," Jera whispered. Logan smiled. "Knows what?" "That he was meant for something greater." The two sanctuary members greeted them warmly, without questions. No scans, no fear, just open arms. As they boarded the shuttle, the hatch closed gently behind them. The engines lifted. The ship high above the dead colony. Away from the ruins, the labs, the fear. The past, and for the first time in a long time, Logan felt the weight in his chest grow lighter. Years later, a classroom on a distant sanctuary world. Alien and human children sat together in a circle, listening to a soft voice tell them stories. The teacher was tall, with glowing eyes and a soft silver hue to his skin. He told stories not just of war but of mercy, of a human who stayed, of a mother who survived, and of a child born from darkness, who chose to shine.